Hi everyone, I am Brooke Davidson and I will be leading this training alongside my co-teacher, Jago Warren, who will introduce herself in just a moment. So I'll start off by introducing myself. I am, of course, a mindfulness and yoga practitioner and educator, but alongside of that, I'm also a public educator. So when I was presented with a chance to participate in this training, I instantly jumped on board because I know firsthand how intense teaching can be and just how pivotal including mindfulness practices can be to day-to-day wellness. Let me start by saying that Jago and I do not intend this training to add more to your plate. We know your plate is already full and we can see and respect that. Instead, we would like this training to function more as utensils that you can use to navigate what already is on your plate. Maybe making the experience of each of those things a little bit easier, a little bit cleaner, and a little bit more pleasant. This first semester is all about you. You as an educator, you as a parent, you as a partner, you as a human being in relation to other human beings. To borrow an analogy from Jago, you can think of this as putting on your own oxygen mask before helping others get to theirs. The idea here is that we're going to arm you with a variety of practices and tools that you can use to respond in each moment as the best version of yourself. And from there, watch that goodness ripple outward. In second semester, we will transition to helping others put on their oxygen masks. And so we'll talk about what it might look like to incorporate mindfulness practices in your own classroom and what that could look like on a monthly, weekly, daily, even minute-by-minute basis. Ultimately, every single week we will put out one of these short videos, no more than about 10 minutes. And in that video, we will go over a very specific and practical practice for you. The idea here is that these practices need to be able to happen in real time. They need to be able to happen when you are in the midst of a heated argument, or maybe when you're on your way to work sitting in the car, maybe in that one breath moment that you have while facing the whiteboard before you have to turn back and re-engage with your class. We'll compile all of these videos into a YouTube playlist that you will have access to so that you can return to them as you desire. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jago.
Hi there, my name is Jago. I'm co-leading this delicious course with Brooke, and thanks for giving us your attention and your willingness to perhaps introduce some new tools into your tool bag or your secret magic bag, whatever it might be. It's a bummer that we have to do this online, but hopefully this is just a temporary existence and we get to hang out in person here real soon, because I think the juiciness of the practice is being in a group setting and holding each other as witness to the gifts of the practice. So thank you for being here. A little bit about my background. You know, it's broad and diverse. I've been a nurse, a yoga and meditation teacher, a trainer, a doula. So in a sense to say, I adore anything that I can do to offer care to the human body mind. And we'll just leave it at that. So what I would like to do today is just to introduce a very simple practice that you can access pretty much anywhere and anytime. No one even needs to know you're doing it. It can be at your desk, it can be at the board, it can be in a meeting, it can be at the dinner table, whatever the situation is. In a sense, we're going to call this feet on the ground, because a lot of times we get up in our head so much that we tend to forget that, oh, that's right. I have feet holding me up. I'm standing on my legs and I am connected with the earth. And that earth element is that of grounding, of connectedness, of centering. And you can apply that to your own belief system however you wish, but we can't deny the fact that we are rooted on this earth. So let's begin the practice. A couple of things I'd like to offer you is, as we move into this practice, one of the sweetest ways to stay in the place of caring when we're learning new things is to receive information with a kind and tender heart. We are the masters of being strong and we're able to do it all. And this tends to kind of put a hardening around our heart. And it's not a bad thing, it's not negative, but that is essentially how we create protection and safety around our heart, because that's our softest, most tender and loving place. So my invitation is to remind you to soften into these practices. Let them remain simple and let them visit you each day. So keep the group intention that these are digestible nuggets and we're offering very obtainable goals. And just like Brooke said earlier, we do not want to add one more to do onto your plate. You all have more than enough going on. Our intention is to offer you choices in how you can continue moment after moment to choose how you respond to a situation, how you respond to a physical sensation in the body, how you respond to an interaction or a sense of emotion overwhelm in the day. So let's practice this feet on the ground. And just remember, it's a sense of connecting with grounding energy, of standing on the earth. And what we're doing is we're slowly going to introduce ourselves to our own awareness. A lot of times, again, we get stuck up here and we forget that, oh, we are this entire human body. And that's right. I'm standing on the earth. I have my feet underneath me. I can come back into my body. I can come back into the present moment. And then I can make a choice of how I step into the next moment. So what I'd love for you to do, find a place that you can either sit in a chair, put your feet on the floor. You may want to stand if you're a stander. If you like to sit on the floor, great. But again, just make sure that the feet can connect with the surface of the floor or the earth or your carpet. So you'll notice these very consistent cues, and consistency is the key to embodiment, as you all know as instructors. Repetition, creating ritual. It takes away kind of the thinking mind and allows you to step into this place of feeling, this place of knowing. So each practice will begin by just finding yourself settling. Now, eyes open, eyes closed, that's a personal choice. I'll cue you, and obviously you can choose what works best for you in this moment. So let's give ourselves some time to settle. And being on a screen is a little different. I don't want you from this point forward to be looking at the screen, seeing what I'm doing, because I'm just going to be sitting here guiding you through this practice. So let your gaze either be downwardly cast, and if you're comfortable and you don't mind having your eyes closed, you can just let them softly close. And how I like to invite that in is I'll take a full breath in. So let's all take a breath in. And then as you exhale, just let the gaze soften, whatever feels right for you today. And you're just giving yourself time to settle, time to arrive. Sometimes I like to think of this moment as someone coming around you and just draping a beautiful shawl or a scarf around your shoulders. And just let your body settle down into your seat, or if you're standing, just settle all the way down through the bones of the body. So we get to release tension that we hold. We get to soften the belly. We might even feel the breath somewhere in this mid-chest, throat, belly area starting to have a little bit more presence. And that invites, again, the inhalation is that nourishment of the practice. The exhalation is the surrender, the release, the settling. So we'll be working with sensation. And again, just let yourself not be attached to the screen. Just listen to the sound of my voice. We're just noticing sensations. And then I wanted you to take your awareness to your feet. And just notice how they rest on the floor. Notice the soles of the feet, the bottoms. And take your awareness to the sides of the feet. And then let your awareness come around to the tops of the feet. Just simply observing. And then let your awareness go to the sensation of your toes wiggling, creating some space, some liberation, a little bit of freedom. It kind of feels playful. And then let your toes rest and let the heels lift and lower. Notice how the bones articulate, how without any verbalization your mind can offer guidance to the feet to create this movement. Now let your feet settle. Can you sense almost that sensation of the feet just spreading out on the floor, taking up space, creating ease? And see if you could notice the texture of your socks. Or maybe you have sandals on. Can your bare feet sense the surface of your shoe, the floor, or the carpet? Just let your feet kind of take on a new sense. Beautiful. And can you observe with your feet the temperature of the floor or the inside of your shoes? And do you feel like your feet could breathe? So this gives us that sense of curiosity, that our feet could actually be more of a sense organ than we give them opportunity to be. So in these next few moments, I want you to take your senses and let's go to sense of sound. So you're moving away from the feet, you're moving into a sound. It could be a sound, any sound around you. It could be a clock, it could be someone playing outside your window, it could be the grumbling of your tummy. But let all of your awareness go to that experience of sound. No attachment. You don't need to figure out the sound, analyze the sound. Just listen for a sound. Beautiful. Now take your awareness back to the soles of the feet. So we've got this returning, this coming home, this zooming in on a part of our body. That's our anchor today. So we're just simply exploring the sense of connection. Bringing our awareness to one part of the body and just being with that. Just being aware of the presence of our feet. Allowing everything else inside and outside of you just to continue to flow along. But you are just feeling and sensing into the awareness of your feet on this sweet earth. So let's take a cleansing breath in. As you exhale, you can release your focus and let the eyes softly open. just take a few moments to enjoy just where you are. Just be right here, right now. What I love about practices this simple is they're incredibly helpful, and the more we practice them, the more accessible they become. When we're in this place of feeling kind of spiraling out of our body, we're feeling sensations in the body rising, and we feel, gripping in the body or in our mind or a closing of the heart. That practices as simple as, I'm just going to take the next 2 breaths and just feel my feet underneath me. And there's 1 breath. There's another breath. This next breath, I'm going to open my eyes and I'm going to step back into the flow of this day. So reminding ourselves that we can get connected, we can get grounded, we can come back into the center in our heart by accessing the soles of our feet, for example, for today's practice. And there's nothing more comforting than feeling that coming back into the body. You've seen all different sorts of visuals that now I'm back in and okay, ready to move forward. So I thank you for your attention and for offering your awareness in this practice of finding a place of anchoring and centering. We will hopefully be in presence with one another one of these days, but until then, I'd love to offer the intention, that obtainable goal, that digestible nugget, that you offer this practice to yourself on a daily basis. And that can be for 2 moments, it can be for a minute, but just see if in this next week you can find opportunity to either start your day by feeling your feet on the ground, connect in midday, feet on the ground, or ending the day, my feet are still on the ground. I'm taking a cleansing breath and I'm fully present in this moment with what's going down. So thanks again. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Come back and watch this video as much as you need, and I will see you soon. Take good care.